Hi, welcome to another review by me, Shog. I got this book last week and I've just been waiting to do a review on it, and it is Goddess Interrupted by Aimee Carter. And MiraInk sent me out this book, the publishing company, to review it. So that I shall do. It's the second book in a series, so the first book was the Goddess Test and I did a review on that. So if you want to see that review first, go here. Okay, so I won't bother reading the back of the book, I mean you can look that up yourself. Goddess Interrupted, it's again not the longest book, like less than 300 pages, like 290, but I gave this book a 1.5 out of 3. I rate my books out of 3, it's just easier for me. So I gave it a 1.5 out of 3 until the last 3 pages, which bumped it up to 2 out of 3. Because there's a great twist at the end, and I wasn't even planning on reading the next book in the series until I read the last 3 pages with the twist, and now I really do want to read the next book in the series. And the next one, The Goddess Inheritance, I think, is out. It would be sometime in 2013. Okay, so I never show enough of the book in my, so hopefully you can see that. Okay, so in this book, like Kate, she's finished her summer away in Greece with James, and she's back in the underworld with Henry, and Henry is a bit distant, and she's wondering why, and then suddenly everything with the Titans, one of the Titans almost escapes, Cronus, and there's big drama with that. So I have to say, the author had a good idea with the first book, but I feel the good idea ends at the end of the first book. Like, when Kate becomes the Queen of the Underworld, that's it, and the author really has nowhere else to go, and that's why I found this book just kind of dull and uninteresting, unfortunately. I wrote a lot down, but I think everything here can be spoiler free-ish, so I'm not going to do a spoiler review. I feel like this series is like a poorer version of the Percy Jackson series, but with just, you know, more teen love drama that I don't really want. I don't want to read about these powerful Greek mythology beings having relationship and love problems. I don't want to think of them like just normal teenagers, because they're not. 60% of this book focused on like boring teen love drama, and the majority of the book was all in Kate's head, you know, her analysing every little thing. And I'm not big on very self-reflective protagonists. When I was reading the book at the beginning, I just forgot all the reasons Kate loved Henry and why the reader should root for them as a couple. So I feel like they went 100 steps backwards, because I just couldn't understand why they were in love. 'Cause at the beginning they weren't really showing it. I got really sick of everyone analysing Kate and Henry's relationship, and her getting the same speech or giving the same lecture over and over and over about how Henry does love her, or how much Henry should love her. It just got very tiring. But to be honest, the least Kate deserved was Henry showing that he wants her around. I mean, she wasn't asking for much, to be honest. Like, why would she want to stay in a marriage where she had to give her husband time to show any affection for her? So I felt like this made them the most unromantic, unrootable and miserable couple ever, because you don't get to see them being like the typical in love characters. It just wasn't very enjoyable to read. But I do think towards the end they did get a lot more sweeter and more interesting, and the twist at the end was brilliant. I won't say what it was, but it was brilliant. Kate spent a lot of this book crying and sobbing, which just made me like her less and less. In the first book and in the second book we hear so much about Persephone, like Henry's other love. So what does the author do? She brings in the character of Persephone. Like, I know, I'm not spoiling this actually, because it's in the back of the book. Like, what's the point in people dying in this world when they can just go visit them? Like, it doesn't have that finality. Like, she should, if she's dead, she should be gone, the character and the person. Yeah, I still hate Ava, but I like James. So, unfortunately this book wasn't as good as the first one for me, just because the overall storyline wasn't interesting enough, and the whole plot premise that drags you into the series is the first book, After that, there's not much. But I do think the third book is going to be very, very good, and I'm really excited for that, which is kind of shocking when I didn't really like this book. So yeah, unfortunately, Goddess Interrupted wasn't great for me, but I do think the last 3 pages were the best part in the book, and the scenes where Henry and Kate got along and acted like a proper couple. They were good scenes. So yeah, that's about it, unfortunately. I'd love to know what you think of it and whether you want to read the next book. And that's my review. So thank you very much for watching, and hope you tune in next time.